But if you're going into the hospital and you have to get from the hospital to the visually impaired unit on your own, and you're eventually blind as I am, totally blind, then it's murder, because you go to the receptionist and you ask for a porter, and half the time they haven't got a porter, you know. And at one stage, one of the volunteers for the shop, she actually took me along, or I was really being stuck, you know. And I found that this is quite common.
Then if you get the reception, well, somebody there might help you, might not. And they say, we'll get a porter, and then you're waiting for the porter, and that's fine. You get to where you're going. You've got to get to their desk. So that's fine. Then they tell you there's a seat over there. Sorry, where's over there? Over there to the back of you. That's no use. You know, because you don't know where you are. And then somebody comes out and shouts you, walks away, leaves you.
A nurse came out and called my name, and I stood up and I said yes, and there was nobody there. I didn't know where she had gone, and I said, did somebody call for Linda Wagstaff? Did somebody call my name? And still nobody answered me. So I took a couple of steps and I said, did somebody call for me? And this nurse came out and said, oh yes, I did. I said, well, I'm blind. I'm registered blind, and I didn't know where you'd gone. Oh, she said, I didn't realise. And I'm standing there with a cymbal cane. So they should learn to look at who they're calling, not just listen to the answer, yes, I'm here. They should look at the person.
When you come near me, please say who you are. Then I know exactly who you are. Obviously, people you know well, you recognise their voices. So they perhaps don't need to say their names. People you just, acquaintances, I would ask that they introduce themselves when they get near, and I'll know right away exactly who they are. And that it's a thing that people, I think they find it a bit strange to have to do that. They're a bit awkward. Maybe they feel a bit embarrassed about it, but it's a big help.
I did not know if they were talking to me or to the person next to me or to another member of the staff. And she had to, after saying, well, we're ready to go. And I said, oh, are you talking to me? And I said, yes, she said. And I said, well, I'm sorry. I am blind and I did not know you were talking to me. Oh, all right, come. And I had to say to her, well, excuse me, can I take your arm? Because I don't know which way to go.
If the staff are aware how to treat blind people and to offer them an arm rather than grab them. We don't like to be grabbed. We'd rather you just said, can I give you an arm? Do you need a hand?
I've got a good Scottish tongue on the head, so I'll say to them, if they try and grab me from behind or anything like that, so look, excuse me, the proper way is if you let me hold your right arm, I'll walk, your right elbow, I'll walk along with you. But I'm not going to be led, I
do find that not very many people do ask, how much can you see? And again, it's very helpful if they will ask, because I can then explain, well, okay, I can see about 2 yards ahead of me clearly. Or, yes, I can see you in outline, but if I saw you again, I wouldn't recognise you because I can't see your face in any detail, or whatever else was affecting me.
I'm registered blind, I have been for years. But I can't see a wee bit, I can see to get around. I get myself from A to B. But hospitals are confusing, they're big places and they've got all these corridors and bits jutting off, and they say you can just go straight along and they point. And they as well pointing at the moon.
When you get to hospital for a stay, you don't have your dog there with you. So you've got a white stick. Once that's out of the road, staff don't know. You know, all you are is another person on a bed to them.
I mean, as I also said to you, when I got into the hospital and they got my hospital bed, and you know your notes at the end of the bed, they didn't even say that I was blind, and the answer was when my sister asked them that they didn't want to embarrass me. Have you ever heard of anything as stupid as that in all your life? You know.
I feel there should be something on the chart that tells doctors what's wrong with you, also to indicate that you have some sort of impairment. And I don't think it'd take much more than just a mark, a letter or something to do that. And so that the nurses and auxiliary staff coming in with things could look at the chart, just a quick glance at it, and know, right, oh, we'll need to help this person more than we normally do.
I think they could maybe, if you're in hospital, put a wee label on your bed or your file or something to tell, okay, the cleaner doesn't read your file, but she could see, oh well, that person doesn't know if I ask her to move, which way to move, or things like that.
You know, you're in the hospital and you give you your breakfast. They bring it up to your table, but they don't tell you it's there. So, you know, you could have a cup of tea and some cornflakes, and you actually don't know it's there. Because they just don't think to tell you, you know.
They come with a cup of tea and say, here it is, or sometimes don't even say, just put it on the bedside table and go away. And you don't know there is a cup of tea there. So by the time they come back to get the tea, oh, you didn't drink your tea. I say, well, I did not know there was a cup of tea. So it's not asking much to say, oh, here, your cup of tea.
Again, I'm totally blind, and if I'm in the hospital, I don't know how to get to the toilet at all. And if you're desperate, you know that you've got to, you've got to bleep them, and you've got to wait until they come, and that's just terrible. That was the worst experience of the lot.
Another problem, it's when you're in a ward, if you need to go to the toilet, that's a different thing, because you've got to wait that they're ready. Somebody will come and take you. And not only that, they tell you, oh, when you're finished, just give a shout. But it's sometimes very embarrassing.
Well, you get a letter. Sometimes, most of the time I get my letters read once a week. But if they're on holiday, that can be 2-3 weeks before I get them read. And I don't want everybody reading my mail. I certainly wouldn't go to my neighbours and ask them, because it'd be all around the scheme. What would help me? A phone call directed to me, or in a format that I could read.
When you get the result of something, okay, in my case, I don't mind my husband reading the letter, but if you have nobody, if he's not there or whatever, he's away for a few days, you don't like to ask your neighbor to read. So privacy is important as well. One of the time, the doctor said to me, we will phone your result in your case. And certainly it was a biopsy. A few days later, the secretary phoned me the result, and they say a letter will follow. But at least I knew the result myself. I didn't have to depend on anybody else, but that happened just one time.
Ask the person when they go into hospital what they actually need. Do they have any other issues apart from the medical condition that they're coming in with? You know? I mean, me myself, I'm totally blind, can't see a thing. And staff usually say, well, it's there, it's in front of you, expecting you to see.
Well, the best thing for somebody who's untrained with blind people is to straight away ask them in what way they can help them. And it's usually very simple as long as you tell them, you know. than what you require, you know, and that way, you know, if they listen to you, then it's fine, you know.